Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet your very own mesh poncho, like the one that I'm wearing in this video. We will be mainly using the mesh stitch, so the main stitches that you need to know for this crochet project are double crochets, chaining, and slip stitching. My red poncho is the one that everyone saw on TikTok, but the one that I'm making in this video is this pink poncho. If you were curious about what yarn I used Lion brand True Blue yarn, and I believe the shade was called Mushroom. It's like a light pink color. And then for my red poncho, I used Loops and Threads Silky Soft Rayon Bamboo yarn in the shade Cranberry. This tutorial is made to measure, so you'll be able to make a poncho to your very own size. That being said, for my size of my poncho, I used about 2 skeins of my yarn. But again, you may need more or less depending on how much larger or smaller you want your poncho to be. Just to give a broad overview of how we're making this poncho, we will first be chaining the length that goes around our neckline, and then we're going to slip stitch it together so then we can work the mesh stitch in a round. As we work the mesh stitch in a round, we will be increasing at 2 points of the poncho that are evenly spaced from one another, and the increases will either be on the left or right side or the front and back side, depending on how you wear your poncho. If you wear it like this, then the increases are on the left and right sides. If you wear it like a traditional poncho with a point at the front, then your increases will be at the front and at the back. Don't know if that makes sense, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyways. After you reach the desired length of your poncho, I will show you how to make and attach the tassels to them. With that being said, let's get right into the tutorial. So for this tutorial, I am using Rayon Bamboo yarn, and this is a weight 3 yarn. It calls for a 4mm hook, so I am using a 4mm hook. And then you need scissors, a couple of stitch markers, and measuring tape. Basically, you want to chain as wide as you want your neck hole to be. So you first make a slip knot. You want to go ahead and chain an odd number of stitches. I chained 137. When I measured it, it was about 33 inches. After you chain an odd number of chains, you want to just run your fingers across your chain and just make sure that all of your chains are facing the same way, so it's not twisted. Okay, so we're at the end of our chain. This is the very first chain that we made. We're just gonna turn it like this, and we're going to insert a slip stitch into the first chain. So you want to insert your hook and then grab your working yarn. You're going to yarn over and pull through the first loop, and then slip stitch by pulling through the second loop. I'm going to chain 1 just to show you. Now our chain is connected. That way we'll work the rest of the project in the round. And this will be your neck hole, so you want to try it on and make sure that the neck hole is as wide or as narrow as you want. Just as an example, I put the chain that we made around my neck just to see how the neckline would sit, and this is as wide as I want it. I want it to be kind of like a boat neck, so it's very wide, and then also I have the option to wear it off the shoulder, so I'm good with this. But again, if you want it more narrow, decrease how many chains you have. And if you want it wider or a larger neckline, increase your chain. Just make sure that your chain length is an odd number. Right after the slip stitch, we are going to start doing our mesh stitch. So to start this row though, we are going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And this chain 3 basically acts as a double crochet and then just a normal chain. This was the first stitch, this is the second chain, and this is the third chain. We are going to skip the second chain and we're going to do a double crochet into the third chain. So to do a double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook again into the third chain. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2. Then we're going to chain 1 skip a chain, and then double crochet again into the next stitch. So chain 1, we're going to skip this next chain and then double crochet into this stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So just continue the mesh stitch doing a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet all the way across until you get to the end of the row, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. This is the chain 3 that we did at the beginning. We want to connect them. So this is our double crochet. We want to chain 1 into the second chain. We are going to do a slip stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull through this loop. This is what our work looks like. You basically want to run your fingers across your work just to make sure that it's not twisted. So now we are going to mark where we want to put the increases. So we want your increases to be perfectly on each side. This is our back seam. So from this stitch, I'm going to count each box that we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, and 68. The number of boxes you have will depend on how large your chain is. So just to give an example calculation, after counting my boxes all the way around, it made 68 boxes. Fold it in half, and I marked the left and the right side and made sure that there was the same amount of boxes on each side. So I had 68 total. I did 34 boxes and 34 boxes. Now, if you end up with an odd number of boxes, that is okay. Just do one extra box on the front side, for example. So this will be my back side, and this is the front side. For instance, if you had 69 boxes, do 35 boxes at the front and 34 boxes on the back. That's all. That's our slip stitch. We're gonna chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So we chain 3, and now we're gonna turn our work. So we're gonna skip the chain and then insert a double crochet at the top of this double crochet. So we are doing our double crochets into our double crochet stitch, not into the space. And then we're going to chain 1, skip the chain, and then insert a double crochet at the top of this double crochet. Chain 1, skip, insert the double crochet at the top of this double crochet. You continue doing this until you get to your stitch marker. So I'll meet you when we reach our first stitch marker. We reached our stitch marker. This is where we're going to insert an increase. 2 double crochets into this stitch. So I just did my double crochet in a chain 1, remove the stitch marker, and I'm going to insert a double crochet into that stitch that we had marked. Okay, that was our first double crochet. You're going to chain 1, and then we're going to insert another double crochet into the same stitch. And then chain 1. There's 2 double crochets in this single stitch. I'm going to mark this stitch so then we can keep track of where to place our increases. And I'm just marking the space between the 2 double crochets. So I just chain 1, so you want to do this all the way across until you reach your second stitch marker. So I just did this double crochet and a chain 1. This is our second stitch marker. Again, we're going to do an increase, meaning 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker and I'm going to yarn over and insert a double crochet into this stitch. Chain 1, and then we're going to insert a second double crochet into the same stitch. And then we're going to chain 1. There are 2 double crochets inserted into the top of this double crochet. Mark this increase so we can keep track of where to put our increases. Continue your mesh stitch all the way across until you reach the end of this row. So I'll meet you at the end of the second row. We're at the end of this row. This is our last double crochet. This is our chain 3 that we did at the beginning of this row. You're going to insert your hook into the second chain and you're going to do a slip stitch. And then you're going to chain 3. Now we're going to turn our work, and now we're going to do a double crochet into this double crochet stitch. And then chain 1, skip the chain, insert your double crochet. You're just going to continue this mesh stitch until you reach your stitch marker. So I'll meet you when we're approaching the stitch marker. And this is our increased space. So I'm going to insert a double crochet into the top of this double crochet. Chain 1. And then I'm going to do an increase into this space, the space that we marked with this stitch marker. So we're going to insert 2 double crochets into that increased space. So yarn over, insert into the space, and do a double crochet. Chain 1, insert your second double crochet into that same space. And then we're going to chain 1. We made an increase into this increased space from the previous row. This is our increase. Mark it with a stitch marker. And then continue our mesh stitch like normal by doing chain 1, skip 1 double crochet. So I'll meet you when we're approaching the second stitch marker. This is the increased space. So we're going to insert a double crochet at the top of this double crochet, and then we're going to do 2 double crochet into this increased space, and then 1 double crochet at the top of this double crochet. Let me show you that. I just chained 1. We're going to insert a double crochet into the top of this one like normal. Chain 1, and then into this space we're going to insert 2 double crochet. We're going to yarn over, insert into the space, a double crochet, chain 1, yarn over, insert the second double crochet in the same space, chain 1, insert a double crochet into the top of this double crochet. Before I continue, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So we did a double crochet, 2 double crochets into this space, and then a double crochet at the top of this one. So this is our increased space. Again, mark with a stitch marker so that way we know when to do an increase in the next row. You're just going to continue doing your mesh stitch like normal until you reach the end of row 3. I just did my last double crochet and chain 1, and this is the chain 3 that we did. You're going to insert your hook into the second chain and do a slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 3 and turn our work, and then we're going to insert a double crochet into the top of this double crochet, chain 1, skip, do double crochet. Basically, every single row after this is a repeat row. You're going to do a normal mesh stitch until you reach an increase, put 2 double crochet into this increased space, continue your mesh stitch, do a double crochet increase into this increased space, continue your mesh stitch until the end of the row. Then you're going to slip stitch to connect, chain 3, turn your work, and repeat. So you just want to repeat these rows and continue this pattern until the poncho reaches your desired length. To give you an example, my red poncho, I stopped after 31 rows total. You could go ahead and try this on, just stop at your desired length, and I'll meet you then. I'm finishing up my last row. I did a double crochet and a chain 1. This is our chain 3 from the beginning of the row. I'm going to insert my hook into the second chain and do a slip stitch. And then I'm going to chain 1 and pull a long tail, snip it. We're going to pull this all the way through to secure it, and then we're going to weave this in. This is what it looks like. This is where our increases take place, and that's the top and this is the bottom. We're going to go ahead and weave our ends in. So this top end from when we started and this bottom end, you just want to take your end and weave it through your darting needle. I just go through the chains, back and forth like this, just to secure my end. I just wove in most of my end. I'm just going to snip, and then I'm going to go ahead and weave in the rest of my ends. We basically finished the main part of the poncho. The next part we're going to do is add the tassels. This is my red poncho. These are what the tassels look like. The length of each piece of yarn is about 7 inches. Grab something that you're going to wrap your yarn around. This is about 3.5 inches, so when I wrap it around and cut it, it's going to be 7 inches total, which is what I want. But if you want your tassels longer, then obviously get something that's wider or longer in length to wrap around. So I'm just gonna wrap my yarn around this. I'm just gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna cut through one side. These are my tassels. We are going to take our tassels and our poncho. For my red one, I did 1 tassel per double crochet. First, you're going to insert your hook into the double crochet like so, and then you're going to take one of your tassels and you want to lay it over your hook. Make sure that the ends are fairly even, like so, okay? And then you're going to pull that tassel through the double crochet, remove your hook, stick your fingers through this loop, and then grab your tail end and pull it through to secure your tassel. And so I'm going to go ahead and attach the rest of my tassels to each of these double crochets that are at the bottom of our poncho. In the next clip, you will see the finished result. Okay guys, this is what our finished poncho looks like. I hope you guys ended up with a poncho that you love. This tutorial was highly requested on TikTok, so if you came from TikTok, please feel free to let me know in the comments. If you make your very own crochet poncho, please tag me. I would love to see everyone's ponchos. What everyone makes, the colors you guys pick, if anyone's making it with like gradient yarn, how you guys style it. I would love to see what everyone makes. I still consider myself a beginner in crocheting, especially in making tutorials and trying to help others learn how to crochet. So if you guys have any sort of constructive feedback, please comment down below to help me help you guys. Comment down any questions you have and I will respond as soon and as best as I can. If you guys enjoyed this tutorial and want to see more videos like this one, like crochet vlogs or other tutorials, go ahead and check out the other videos on my channel. If you guys want to support me and my crochet journey, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. As always, thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching the rest of this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!